Hello, Dharma Circle. Swati here, the Embodied Dharma Coach. Let's talk May transits because we actually start the month with some powerful changes. Today is the new moon, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well, and the full moon, and what's to come for May. But let's dive in with the current transit. So as of the first of the month, Venus is combust in Aries, Sun is exalted in Aries. So this is big Sun energy this month and very important for the beginning of a cycle, an annual cycle. Jupiter is Sandhi in Taurus. Jupiter has literally just arrived in Taurus, still very weak in degrees and vulnerable, but highly spiritual. Ketu is in Virgo, of course. Moon started in Capricorn this month. Saturn is in his own sign of Aquarius. We have Mars, Rahu, and Mercury conjunct in Pisces. This means that Mercury is debilitated. So on the 10th of the month, Mercury goes into Aries. This is, again, Mercury going through this very delicate Gandanta, the end of the zodiac, Pisces, a water sign, and jumping into a fire sign, Aries. This is one of the three Gandantas in the zodiac. And anytime a planet is shifting from water into fire, it is very challenging. It is a place in the zodiac and also in the body that brings an uprooting or an untying of a knot. Gandanta is actually translates as knot. So we're untying the knots, and Mercury represents and is an expression of the mental body, the mind. So expect to be untying mental body knots. This is also money. It is possibly nervous system. Mercury correlates to the nervous system in the body. It can be skin issues as well. It's about creativity and communication. So really understanding that this dynamic of Mercury that's been going on for many months now, transiting through debilitation sign, Pisces into Aries, and then retrograding back into Pisces, and now as he moves direct, going once again through this Gandanta into Aries. The other thing that's really delicate about this transit, and we'll see this end on the 10th, Mercury is actually at the edge of Pisces in the fourth pada of Revati Nakshatra. And so this particular finale of the end of the end of the zodiac is particularly challenging for endings, losses, release, and letting go. So paying attention to these losses, these releases, this letting go that's really intense and maybe many layers showing up on the level of Mercury and mind, communication, money, that kind of thing. Lots of endings and losses. Now, the most auspicious day of the year is on May 10th. This is Akshaya Tritiya, and it's also Matangi Jayanti, so the celebrated birthday of Matangi. And Akshaya Tritiya is the only day of the year where sun and moon are simultaneously exalted. So this is a particularly powerful day for new beginnings and taking dharmic action steps. So make sure that you are honoring this very sacred, powerful day with dharmic steps. Sun moves into Taurus on the 14th. We have Mars and Rahu in a very tight conjunction this month. When we have Mars and Rahu in proximity, close proximity of each other, we get Rudra energy, we get storm god energy. This is particularly powerful and intense this month as they go into exact degrees on the 18th. So moving towards the 18th and even on the other side of the 18th, we have this really tight conjunction of the fiery action taker Mars and the confusion and the illusion of Rahu. This Rudra energy can bring heated storms, and this is happening in the sign of Pisces, so expect water and emotion to be involved. This is like hurricane type energy, where we have the heat and the cooling coming together, creating an incredibly intense storm. So pay attention to where Pisces is in your Jyotish chart and what part of the body this is for you, because this is where you can expect this heated battle, this Rudra storm energy to be taking place. And for all of us, this is about feet, so really taking care of your feet, being mindful of your feet. We have Mercury moving into Taurus then on the 31st. So this entire month is about Mercury and his shift through this Gandanta Pisces debilitation into Aries, heating up with the sun, and then going into Taurus ultimately by the end of the month. And then on the 1st of June, Mars moves into his own sign of Aries. So be mindful that Mars is also going through this very delicate Gandanta later this month. He'll move into the final phase of the zodiac, going into Revati Nakshatra, and then that last pada of Revati as well, before he jumps into Aries on the 1st. So there is plenty of endings, losses, and releases taking place with mind, and also with Mars, who represents our action and our karma, our literally action, karma. And he's fiery, he's aggressive, he's angry at times. So be noticing your relationship with emotion, the emotion of anger, fire. This is also Agni. He can bring up blood issues, bone marrow issues, issues with all things blood related. He's Pitta. So we have some interesting issues with fire this month, and he will be more balanced as we move into June. New moon in Aries and Bharani Nakshatra on May 7th. That is today at 9:22 Mountain Time. And we also, at this time, are going through this Sun-Venus combustion that's happening. So water, Jala, is very heated and getting scorched by the sun. This is happening in Aries. Venus doesn't love being in Aries, and this is causing challenges with relationships and all things water. So this is emotion on some level, but ultimately your Shakti, your life force energy, the Jala, the inner waters are overheating right now. So really important to stay calm, to stay cool, and to spend time near water. Strengthen the water element and the water principle in your life rather than getting overheated. And remember that Jupiter is making his clunky transition into Taurus right now, and he's in Kritika Nakshatra. And so this is very much about cutting, clearing, releasing, decluttering, dejunking your life, and making space for pure knowledge and also material gains and successes in the coming year. The thing that you need to remember about Jupiter in Taurus is it's not going to be automatic material growth and support. You have to make the space for it. And remember that Jupiter is the guru. He is knowledge and wisdom. He's actually going to force you to learn about material world success, and you're going to have to put in the effort. So don't expect things to just be handed to you. New moon in Bharani Nakshatra, the month starts with this rebirthing, but it comes through restraint. Yama is the ruling deity of Bharani Nakshatra, and Yama, he's considered the king of Dharma. He actually judges our karmas at the time of death. He encourages self-control, restraint, and right action. And through your alignment with Dharma, Yama supports your afterlife and your rebirthing process. He loves restraint. He rules over and judges the laws of nature. And he enforces the laws of nature. And he's quite fierce about it. Wherever you're imbalanced right now with Dharma and Dharmic action, with the laws of nature, this is your reminder to rebalance and to restore more harmony with nature, with your body, and to release and restrain excess. He doesn't like excess and he doesn't allow it. The symbol of Bharani Nakshatra is the yoni, which is both a fierce and a delicate area of the female body. And so that is also a theme with this constellation. It's delicate and fierce. And it's birth, it's the portal of birth and death. And this is a big theme for the 2-week cycle ahead of the waxing cycle. Now, when we get to the full moon in May, which is in Scorpio and Anuradha Nakshatra on May 23rd, it's also Buddha Purnima, so the full moon that it's honoring Lord Buddha. Scorpio full moon means that the moon is considered debilitated. The moon turns in on itself. And this is an interesting dynamic for a full moon because the energy of the moon is very big and expansive, and yet the moon is debilitated. Remember that a debilitated planet requires that we put effort here. As the debilitated planet turns in on itself, it requires that we put effort and attention on this area of the body and our life. So this full moon in Scorpio requests and requires that we put great effort and attention into the emotional body. And this is also all things feminine and mother, heart. So pay attention to this need for emotional body wisdom and support, especially with friendships. Anuradha is known to support this overcoming of obstacles and moving us into great achievement and success in life. But we must tend to the challenges first, and that includes our emotional body challenges. So honoring this debilitated moon in Scorpio and the power of Anuradha Nakshatra, which is ruled by Mitra, and he supports alliances, friendships, connecting, co-creating. And he really wants friendship, alliances, camaraderie. And we grow through these connections and the strength of our friendships, honoring grief, suffering, hardship, but transforming that into great transformation, celebration, success, overcoming challenges, and actually having great triumph in life. So that is a reminder for this full moon that we transform this emotion, our grief, our darkness, our challenges into great success and overcoming obstacles, focusing on the outcomes that we truly want, need, and deserve on the path. And remembering who gets us there. It is through our support networks, our the guidance, the community support, our friendships, our alliances that really support our success ultimately. No one succeeds alone, in other words. Now, at the time of the full moon, we're also continuing to work with this very heated dynamic of Venus and Sun. This is happening in Taurus. So this heated combustion through Aries then moves into Taurus later in the month. However, there is some improvement there because Venus will be in its own sign of Taurus rather than in Aries, which Venus is very unhappy with. But we still need to watch for inflammation, excess pitta, overindulgences, especially because Jupiter will be in the mix. Ketu gives his drishti, causing sudden changes, losses, epiphanies. So be mindful of where Taurus lives in your chart and what themes will be developing with this heat and this combustion, this inflammation. We also continue to work with the Mars-Rahu conjunction most of May. Again, this is Rudra energy, storm god energy. Expect storms internally and externally with heat, fire, water. And the endings, the release, the losses that Mars will be going through as he comes to the edge of Pisces and makes this leap into Aries, this water-fire junction. There is a Gandanta, an uprooting, an untying of knots with all things Mars and anger and fire. So notice where that Pisces junction point lives in your Jyotish chart and your body. If you would like to study your Jyotish chart and understand these layers more intimately, if you really want to understand your natal karma and how it's impacting your body, how these transits play a role in your body, how they activate certain karmas in your body and your life, how this impacts your soul purpose, your soul work, your dharma in this lifetime, comment Jyotish below. I have a foundational embodied Jyotish workshop on May 13th. I haven't done one of these foundational workshops in over 6 years. I won't be doing this again. So join us now. You'll get a copy of your Jyotish chart, dashas, and also my Jyotish ebook for your studying. Study your chart, study your body wisdom, study your karma and how this impacts your soul purpose, your path of dharma in this lifetime. I'm going to be supporting you with the foundational pieces in this workshop. If you'd like to join us, comment Jyotish below. I'll send you all the details. Just remember, you will need an accurate birth time for this workshop and for a chart to be pulled. All right, so if you're ready to study these layers more intimately and really understand how these transits impact your body and your life, be sure to join my foundational workshop. Comment Jyotish below. I'll send you registration details, and I hope to see you in class. Be well, everyone. This is a powerful month ahead. Lots of stormy energy in the skies, and remember, this impacts your body and your life very intimately. Be gentle with yourself, take good care, and try not to overheat. All right, everyone, be well.